quickfire section that's called Myths or Truths. So I'll just throw out some beliefs. Maybe some may be sounding kind of sensible, some may be a bit out there, but just interested in your feelings on these. So, do you need a university degree to work in aerospace?
No, absolutely not. I mean, you may do later on in your career, but at the start, you don't. 100%. You can start at a point where you don't need it. 100%.
The space industry is only for massive corporations like NASA, SpaceX, or kind of government organizations.
Definitely a myth. A lot of the big innovations come from small companies. They may grow into bigger companies, but I think a lot of things start with small businesses.
What about this? Engineering is mainly about getting the technical things right. Soft skills and dealing with people don't really matter.
Myth, definitely a myth. I think I'll later on, like, culture is one of the most important things within a business, and regardless of what you're doing, it's top priority.
So do you think that's an important thing for technical, more focused people 100%. To develop and to grow on?
Almost more important, right? Because engineers typically are, and I'm going to stereotype a little bit here, like they're typically very like insular, and they're typically kind of very focused on the detail, and maybe kind of interactions and social interactions and things like that aren't sort of their stronger points. So I think making sure that you're focusing on that and bringing that out of people is way more important within that environment.
You have to follow a straight career path to succeed.
Absolute myth. Yeah, there's nothing in that at all. I think it's you have to try different things, and that involves you going left, right, backwards a bit, maybe forwards a bit, and all over the place. You have to do that to work it out.
Okay, all right. We're not doing very well with the truths here, are we? We're a bit myth heavy here. Work-life balance is difficult in kind of high-stake industries like aerospace and space.
I think this is in between. Is there an in between? Because I think there's a bit of truth.
If you can explain it, justify it, go for it. Why do you think it's in between?
Because I think it's and I think maybe this is the case in a lot of sectors, industries, jobs. Like it ebbs and flows, doesn't it? So you'll have deliverables that are maybe way in the future. So you have that period where you're kind of working away and quite comfortable, and things are nice and happy, and you come to a deliverable and things kind of spike in one direction. You've got to put some extra time in. The reality of that is that it's very difficult sometimes to manage projects to avoid that, because there's so much in engineering, and especially in innovative engineering, there's a lot of uncertainty. So uncertainty is very hard to manage in terms of people's time and timelines and all that kind of stuff. So we've had it recently where we've had to, just through the way things have gone and unexpected things that have gone along in this project, we've had to put a bit more graft in towards a certain point in the project. So I think work-life balance is mega important, but at some points the work side of things has to be the thing that takes a bit of focus, as long as you can then balance that out later on. So work-life balance might be that you're grafting really hard for a little bit, but then you're actually chilling for quite a bit of time after that. So as long as you can get that balance, when you do go one side, when you do go heavy on the work side of things, there's a balance the other side of that says, okay, we've had a really tough time. Let's take a bit of time to recognise that and maybe take a little bit of a break and chill.
Yeah, or go into your school and deal with 200 kids, try to teach them how to throw a rugby ball.
Yeah, exactly. It's different for everybody, right?
Not sure I would be doing that for my relaxing day off, to be honest. But, everyone, different strokes. Taking time off sets you back in your career.
So do you mean like a career break, or like
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, well,
career break.
Interpret it however you want to, I suppose. Yeah, I was thinking more of a career break, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I think it's almost, it's not, if the career break thing is not essential, but I think taking breaks is definitely essential, because you don't stop thinking about stuff just because you're on holiday. Everybody knows that, right? You could be lying on the beach and you'd be like, yes, that's exactly what I need to do on that thing that I was doing last week. So I think, and in the longer period of time you have off, I think that the sort of the bigger the possibility of something like that happening, right? Because, and sometimes you talked about the straight line thing, And sometimes you need that career break just to work out whether you need to go left or right, or maybe you need to go look back a little bit. So I think they're really important if it's applicable to your scenario.
Yeah, that time to away from the thick of it and let you see the wood for the trees and decide what's next. Yeah, that's essential. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is an out there one. All space companies are working towards putting people onto the moon or onto Mars.
Myth. So I was at SpaceCom this week, the event. So, and there's lots of stuff they were talking about there. Definitely, like human space travel was a big topic. I was in the keynote with Professor Brian Cox, and Richard Branson was he dialed in, and they were talking a little bit about his sort of Virgin Galactic stuff, and like it sounds super cool, and like Brian Cox is a brilliant speaker, and he just gets you thinking about stuff. It's just crazy. Like the science that's out there is absolutely mental, and it's really inspiring as well. So yeah, it's definitely a myth, because the stuff that Brian Cox was talking about was just really scientific and sort of potentially game changing in terms of understanding how the world came to be about. So I think, yeah, definite myth, and there's loads and loads of cool stuff going on.